What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Raider Nation out there coming back with a new video. Today, we'll be starting the 2021 NFL Season Prediction Series. Let's go! Last time we left off, the Bucs ended up being Super Bowl champs, somehow. We won't get into how that happened, but all I know is it's going to be a long ride from the beginning, because we got 17 full weeks of NFL football predictions to get through. So this will be a weekly thing here on this channel. So, before we get into this, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss one of my uploads. Without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with the first game on our thing, with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. Now, Pittsburgh, they had a pretty decent offseason, not gonna lie. Buffalo didn't do much. So, I'm having a lot of expectations for these two teams, like, say, high scoring, maybe it's a close game. But, with all that being said, I see... Now, I know Pittsburgh has a very old quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. Nobody knows if this is his last year. But with Josh Allen and those Bills, man, Stephon Diggs, man, they could do something again. So, with all this being said, I am taking the Buffalo Bills to override the Steelers. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Texans. Now, we're not really expecting a lot from Jacksonville or Houston this year, because Jacksonville and Houston both have new quarterbacks and new coaches and new systems and everything. So, we're not really expecting too much out of either team this year. But I would have to say that Jacksonville takes this game just because they have more weapons than Houston does. And they have some experience in certain positions, unlike Houston. So, now, the next game. It's an AFC Divisional Playoff Round rematch. The Browns and the Chiefs. Oh man, Cleveland last year, they were the surprise of the NFL. Surprised when they beat the Steelers in the wild card. They almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs too, man. This team was a surprise last year. Now the only question is, can they beat the Chiefs in week 1? Now, as Raiders fans, you're like, they have to beat the Chiefs. They have to. Yes. But there's also a side that's going like, can they beat the Chiefs? Can they do it? So, with all that being said, I'm telling you what my head tells me, and I'm going with the Browns in this matchup. Now, Miami and the Patriots. Miami, Tua coming into his second year, he's got a little comfortable in that coaching system. While New England, they have a rookie quarterback because they cut Cam Newton and they cut Brian Hoyer. So, now the only question is, how's Mac Jones going to do this season? Because nobody knows how Mac Jones is going to do this season. So, who knows how good New England will be this year? All we know, New England could be the worst team in the league. You never know. It's the NFL. You don't know anything. So, with this game, I'll have to go Miami. Now, the Raiders. This is the Ravens. Now, you already know who I'm going with in this matchup. It's obvious. But, now the only question is the Raiders' defense going to be good this year? Because the last 2 years, we've done so good to start the season, and at the end of the season, we drop. So now the question is, can our defense step up to the challenge and take out the Baltimore Ravens? So, now, Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins got hurt, so he's out for the year. But the Raiders, they just signed K.J. Wright yesterday in that linebacker spot. So, the Raiders have a lot of defenders, good defensive players. Now, the only question is, can they use them good? So, Raiders win this matchup. Now, the Bengals and the Vikings. Now, Joe Burrow is coming back this year off a season-ending injury, off a torn MCL and ACL. But now the question is, can the Vikings get back on track after the year they had last year, where they went 1-5? They won a couple of games, but then they dropped off again. Can they have a rebound year? That's the only question. Because if they can't have a rebound year, then what's going to happen with the quarterback? Because now, I feel like you're putting your quarterback in a situation now where he has to basically feel like he needs to win every game now. But with all that being said, I will take Cincinnati because Cincinnati has the more experienced weapons, and Minnesota lost a lot during the offseason. So, now the next game. Seattle and Indianapolis. Now, Indianapolis, let's see here. Actually, first off, let's start with Seattle. Seattle, they lost a little bit during the offseason, but they didn't lose too much. They still have Russell Wilson. They still have DK Metcalf. So, in their minds, they're like, we're good. We have those two players. We're good. But it's not just the offense that has to get it done. Offense just can't go out there and do all the work. It has to be your defense. And their defense struggles so much in the middle of the season. Will that be the different case now? Or will that stay the same? Because if so, in Indianapolis, they have their number one receiver out with an injury right now, T.Y. Hilton. So, who knows and how that's going to impact them. But, all that being said, Seattle gets this win. Now, the Chargers and the Washington football team. Now, the Chargers, Justin Herbert coming in the second year, just is Rookie of the Year winner, a All-Pro Rookie of the Year. While the Washington football team's the NFC East, that team in the NFC East, all these teams are coming off a bad year. So, the Washington team, who is the defending NFC East champions, they have a new quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick. They still have Terry McLaurin. So now, the only question is, how can you, if you're the Washington football team, how can you do this year? Because now that this NFC East is stacked, how is the team going to go? But my gut is, I'm going to say something here, but, as much as I want to see Washington football team pull this game out, I think the Chargers are going to win this game. Now, the Jets and the Panthers. Now, we all know the Jets, they were a bad team last year. But now they went out there, got their new coach, Robert Saleh, got a new quarterback in Zach Wilson, the rookie out of BYU. They got Corey Davis, they got acquisition free agent from Tennessee. Now, their defense is still good, But now the only question is, how good is Zach Wilson going to be in his rookie year? How good is he going to be? Because you can't just throw a lot at him. Like, most rookie quarterbacks get, many expectations thrown at them, They get the peer pressure in week one and openers, So, now, how is that going to affect the Jets? Now, the Panthers, on the other hand, they still have their same head coach in Matt Rule. They took Sam Darnold. They signed Sam Darnold from the Jets, brought him to the Carolina Panthers. Now, how good is Sam Darnold going to be for you guys this season? Because now people are saying that maybe he might have a better year because it was that Jets curse. Who knows? We'll see. Can't just assume stuff. So, now the only question is, he's reunited with Robbie Anderson, his former target in New York. He's come to Carolina with him. Now, on average, I think he's going to target from somewhere like 400, 500 targets. You don't know that. Because Robbie Anderson was Sam Darnold's favorite target. So, with all that being said, Jets fans, I know you have a lot riding this season with the new quarterback and the new face of the franchise there. But let's get honest. What is the average record for a rookie quarterback for making his first start to win opening day? Slim to none. I mean, the last time a rookie quarterback ever did it was David Carr, back when the Texans first were a football franchise. That was so long ago. I mean, it's 2021. That was, what, when the Texans first came in, 2004, I think, somewhere along those lines? That was a long time ago. The past is past, now it's the present. So, I have to say Carolina gets this win. Now, Arizona and the Titans. Man, this one could be a good matchup. Because Arizona, Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt, all those guys facing Tennessee's Ryan Tannehill, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, who came out and who got traded to Tennessee from Atlanta. So, this is going to be a good matchup, obviously, because you got two good teams like Arizona, who's trying to make the playoffs. They came up short last year. And you got Tennessee wanting Derrick Henry trying to get 2,000 yards rushing again this year. So now, this can be a good matchup because you don't know who's going to win this game. I mean, these are some pretty good football teams. So, now, will Kyler Murray win this game? We don't know. But what I'm saying is maybe Tennessee comes out and wins this game. Now, the Broncos and the Giants. Now, we all know that the Broncos are having a history of bad quarterbacks right now. And they signed Teddy Bridgewater during the offseason. And they drafted Patrick Surtain, cornerback from Alabama. So, how's that translate? Well, we don't know. We don't know how well they're going to do. I mean, with their quarterback issues in the past, they signed a good quarterback and then he just fails. So, what's this mean for them? And the Giants have brought in a lot during the offseason. They're still with the same quarterback, But, to be honest, I think the Giants get this win. And plus, they're at home, so. Okay, here's the matchup. Opening night, opening kickoff. We got the Cowboys taking on the defending Super Bowl champion Buccaneers. Now, Cowboys fans, get happy because Dak Prescott's coming back from the season-ending injury he had from a dislocated ankle. But you're facing the defending champion Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans. That defense. The defense who tortured offenses in the playoffs last year. Who tortured these offenses. How are you going to do against the Bucs defense? But, it's to be real, we all know the Bucs are going to win this game. So, now our next matchup, the Atlanta Falcons versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles, I did a lot this offseason. They released Carson Wentz, They brought in a new head coach. They drafted Devontae Smith. They drafted a lot of other good talent out there. But now, the only question is, how will this team do? Because you don't have Carson Wentz anymore. You don't have your Super Bowl champion quarterback, almost league MVP anymore. You don't have most of your players from that 2017 Eagles team. So, and Atlanta. You guys drafted Kyle Pitts. You guys got a lot on that defense, but you guys lost Julio. So, who's going to win this game? To be honest, Philadelphia wins. Straight and fair. Now, San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. San Francisco, everybody's coming back this year for the Niners. So, we already know that defense is going to be a monster. That's going to be a monster defense. Nick Bosa, all those guys coming back. Although they did lose their defensive alpha and Richard Sherman. So, who knows how long that could cost them. But, the question is, can the San Francisco 49ers reclaim their Super Bowl run from when they played the Chiefs? Can they redo it? And not only is they got a new quarterback in Jared Goff. They lost a lot on that offense, though. Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay, they lost those two. So now, with your best two wide receivers gone, how's that going to impact the rest of your team? We don't know. But I will say San Francisco ends up just blowing the gates on them. Now, hopping into our next matchup. Oh, man. Green Bay versus the Saints. Now, so Green Bay had a lot of drama with Aaron Rodgers during the offseason. We're not going to lie. Because now he's back with them for one more year. And now the Saints' question is, who's going to be that starting good quarterback for the rest of your season? Because with Drew Brees now retired, that sends a message to Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. Who's going to be that starting quarterback? Because apparently they've already named, according to Twitter and NFL.com, they've already named Jameis the starter. So, who's going to take that role? But I honestly think the Packers are going to get this win. So, now diving into our last game of this Week 1 prediction video. We got the Chicago Bears versus the LA Rams on Sunday Night Football. Prime time, under the lights. Chicago, they have Justin Fields, Andy Dalton. They have a lot of good players. Well, the Rams, they lost a little bit, but they got a quarterback in Matthew Stafford. They have Jalen Ramsey still. But the only question is, if Chicago named Justin Fields starter Week 1, how well is that going to do? We don't know. We saw Justin Fields do good out there in the preseason, but that was against second and third stringers. So, what's my thing? I think that Chicago wins this game. Okay, so we got let's see here. We look at the conference. So, this is how the picture's stacking up right now. So, yeah. Well, all that being said, it's your boy Raider Nation out there, and I'm out. Peace.